this is the battle plan now. Red states need to step up and use the courts to battle back. There is a reason why President Trump worked as hard as he did to appoint federal judges and get them installed on the courts. Let's use them now, not as activists, but as to literally rule on the law and the Constitution as it is written. That right now is our best defense against these overreaching policies. Well, joining me now is Republican state senator from New Mexico, whose district spans the border, where we found that half-mile gap in the unfinished wall, by the way. Please welcome to the program, Senator Crystal Diamond. Senator Diamond, thanks for coming on the program.
Thank you, Grant, for having me. That southern New Mexico border that you referenced is in my Senate district. But I want to note that I'm joining you from Santa Fe, where for the next 60 days, the legislative body will convene in a closed Capitol, locked doors to the public under the governor's emergency health order. The New Mexico schools statewide remained closed under the governor's emergency health orders. And businesses throughout New Mexico are on the brink of collapse because many of them too remain closed. So the irony is that we are in a state of national emergency under this health order. We are in a state of complete lockdown. And yet just this week, we learned that our borders are going to be completely open, exposing my rural southern New Mexico communities to even more danger along the border. And it's going completely unnoticed and on deaf ears within our leadership nationally and within the state of New Mexico.
Well, so Senator Diamond, it clearly isn't going unnoticed with us. And when we see a half a mile of that wall that is unfinished, it literally could be connected. All the material is sitting there right in your district that we're told may sit there and just rust and never be used, at least not for the next 4 years until we get another administration willing to use it. Is there anything that you or your state, which I know will be very hard because right now it is not a red state, New Mexico, but is there anything that can be done on a state level to get that area closed and this situation fixed?
I think our best attempt is to try to plead with this governor to influence our new president and the new administration of how dangerous this is. Our communities and our families that were within that half-mile open gap of the border are actually in more danger now than they were before the wall was up, because it has literally created a funnel of passage for illegal crossing. In addition to the traffic of the illegal immigration problem that we're already facing, we have been notified that there is a number of people in the upwards of 10,000 people that are very close to that southern border right now. Another influx of immigrants coming up from South America. We witnessed a crossing of 8,000 immigrants in 2019. Kudos to the county of Luna, who were able to house, feed, launder, provide medical services, provide porta potties and shower trailers for over 2 months. My detention center there in Deming provided laundry services, delivered over 700 meals daily to try to keep our community as safe as possible. These immigrants were housed at our local fairgrounds, later moved over to some vacant hangars that our county owned. The problem is with this new caravan that's coming up, regardless of where they were crossed, we don't have the resources. And all of this was post-pandemic. And now we have a health crisis that we have to manage on top of it. 80 to 90% of our volunteers, the last caravan, were elderly population, of which cannot assist us this time. We're told that this caravan has up to a 95% positive COVID rate. We are trying to keep New Mexico as healthy as can be. And so here we are opening our borders during a pandemic, when we aren't in the case of a pandemic, we already have a crisis here in our state.
Senator, one of the reasons why I had you on is because we saw what happened in New Mexico. You lost Republican leadership at the helm of New Mexico. Now you install a liberal governor in that state. We see the problems. You can't be surprised, are you, by what we're seeing with the United States, with Joe Biden at the helm. If you can, 15, 20 seconds to finish it up.
This has been an unbelievable week here in New Mexico. As you know, we are dependent on oil and gas. His moratorium that he just put on us has us scared to death with our budget. The fact that we stopped building this wall down here has literally put our citizens at jeopardy and in great harm. This has been a scary week for us here in New Mexico, and I just want to thank you and appreciate you bringing attention and hearing our pleas and cries for help.
Well, absolutely. We do what we can, and it is a great example of what's going on really all across the nation and all across that southern border. Senator Crystal Diamond, I know you're in a tough position fighting in New Mexico, but we appreciate you doing it for us. Thank you for coming on tonight.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.